Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Sup, dude? This is Tank speaking into a microphone here out of Emerge Media Creators Co-op. Welcome back to Tank Talk after a tremendous weekend. So some would say last week was the finals week with the NBA finals coming to an end, NHL Stanley Cup coming to an end, and then to cap it off, we had happy belated Father's Day to all the dads out there. Happy Juneteenth today. Everyone got the day off from work. Well, most of us at least. And then also congratulations to Wyndham, right?
Believe so.
Wyndham Clark, U.S. Open champion.
America.
Oh.
That's right. It was a rough day Saturday on the putter. We could get into it a little bit later. But to my left, I am joined by the one and only Brother Brennan. Brennan, what's going on, man?
Looking a little red, just like the bowl on my shirt here.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit too much sun, just a tad.
Well, see, for us bald guys, it's kind of rough. It's like, normally, obviously you can see, for those that follow along, I'm a big hat guy, but once that sun comes out for the first time, you got to keep it off,
hat.
you know what I mean? Can't have that tan line across the
initial burn.
Bald-ass head. And then, of course, we have Maranto on the ones and twos. There's no camera on him right now, but welcome to the show, Maranto.
Hello. Welcome.
How was your Father's Day weekend? It was good?
Nice.
Kids treated you
Yeah.
well?
I watched the PGA. I watched some soccer last night. USA beat Canada for a championship. That was good.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was that again? That was the...
Team USA men's beat Team Canada for CONCACAF, which
CONCACAF,
is,
that's
don't
what it
ask
was.
me what that stands for.
Well,
Okay.
the biggest prize in all soccer, whichever one the U.S. won. Right?
Well, no, not really. But hey, a win's a win. They
That's
got
right,
a
that's
trophy.
right.
That's third year in a row for that tournament.
Well, speaking of big wins,
Yeah.
today's show was a big win.
What?
Big hockey show today.
Hockey?
Not normally,
No, not normally.
but when we have some expertise coming into the show, there's no way we could turn it down, right?
You can't.
So let's not keep our guest waiting. He, I want to say, created next level hockey.
Next level. All by himself. Boom.
12 years of coaching experience. Played at the professional and collegiate level. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Mattson. Tim, welcome to the program, man.
Great to be here, guys. Let's turn this into a hockey show.
This is why we brought you. This is one of the many reasons. Obviously, because you're Tim Mattson. You know what I mean? That's number one. But number two, you got to put us onto the game, man.
Yeah, it's I've been here 12 of the last 15 years, something like that, and I think this is a hockey town.
Okay.
It's tough to say that right now in a football show, primarily when especially when the Bills are awesome.
Yeah,
But
this time
I
and
still
age.
think this is a hockey town.
Well,
So-
before we get into all the sports and everything, it's so weird because like a week or two ago, I don't know how this guy keeps doing this. It was our 1 year anniversary show, Tim, and somehow this guy sent us a bottle of champagne, just popped out of nowhere, and same situation happened today. I don't know how he got this here. I think he meant to send it to you, but he sent it over here. I don't know if you could read that. It says, to Tim from Nick.
Smiley face.
A nice cold Bud Light. What? So
That's always been Nick's drink of choice.
he said it had to be Bud Light because you're a hockey guy. I guess that's what the hockey guys do. But you're here to educate us today on that, right?
Yep. No, Nick's a good man. I met him playing beer league at Dwyer Arena 15 years ago, and I was wondering who this guy was. I'm like, he can barely skate. But
Oh.
but but he always found a way to score. So finally, I'm like,
Sounds like him.
I'm like, dude, you like, I've never seen a guy like this who can't skate, but you score every game. And we hit it off pretty good there. And yeah, Nick's a good man and a good friend.
Yeah, solid guy. For the most part, his jokes, you can still has some room to grow there, but overall, good guy.
They all can't be home runs, though. You know?
You're right. That's a good point.
He thinks they're funny. So
that's all that matters. As long as he's happy, we're happy. Shout out Nick, man. Shout out Nick.
We love you, Nick.
But all right, let's get into it, Tim. How did this journey with hockey begin? And feel free to share your playing experiences with us and our fine listeners at home.
Sure. I'll give you a brief history lesson here. So I grew up in Minnesota, which is the hockey hotbed of the country, and played junior hockey and then played college hockey at NU, actually, up the road here.
Shout out. It always ties back to either NU or Buffalo, doesn't it? It's crazy.
Always. And then when I got done playing, I got right into coaching. Coached 1 year junior, then I came back to NU and I was an assistant for 7 years. And then I left, went back to Minnesota, and I coached for 4 more years in junior and college. Then my wife and I said, that's enough of chasing that. She's from here. I love it here. We moved back. I started a company called Next Level Hockey that we it's really hard to explain. I explain it a different way every time, but we basically advise hockey players on their career. We do no pro stuff. It's all on the amateur side. So there's this thing in hockey called junior hockey, which is different than every other sport. So it's really tricky to navigate through. So we help players and families through that as they pursue their college dreams.
That's amazing to hear. And it's like, even you mentioned it, you come to the realization that this is a hockey town, and an outlet and opportunity like that for the young players is phenomenal. And that's amazing that you started that there. Tim, Brendan has a quick question here.
Yeah, so actually a little birdie was talking to me about an intermission story.
Nick. Yeah, back at your...
No, it was not Nick. Okay? It's just a little birdie.
Yeah, I think he mentioned it was back at your time with the Minnesota Wilderness, if you could elaborate on that.
Yes, great story. So when I left here after coaching at NU, I went out to Minnesota and I was coaching junior hockey, and Nick, our good friend Ryan Gale from St. Catharines, and our good friend Christian Glowinski, who works with the Golden Knights down at T-Mobile Arena now.
Shout out. They
all three still lived here, and they flew out and spent a weekend with me for our home opener. And I grabbed our PR lady that did all the intermission stuff, and they got randomly selected to go out in between periods for the intermission show, and they took turns going in a slingshot, and they'd sling them all the way across the ice, and they would have to knock over bowling pins. And Christian Glowinski and Ryan Gale both got strikes, and Nick knocked over one pin. Shocker.
Oh, sounds about it. You know, this guy, you can never count on him.
You know, I'm glad we came back to win the game, because it was one of the lowest moments of my coaching career. Really embarrassed and
leave it to Nick. Leave it to Nick, you know.
I think I don't know if he remembers it. I would assume he barely does, because those guys had a heck of a time. But yeah, that was a story we'll never forget. I wish I got you guys a picture of it to put up on the screen. I wish I had one of those ready. Man,
we would have loved that. Next time. If you could ever find it and dig it up.
I was about to say, you gotta find it.
We'll be more than happy to pull it up on the screen here for everyone to see.
Perfect.
But going away from your saddest moment of your coaching career, let's talk about what led you and your passion to coach the game after playing. And was it always a dream career of yours? And how did that translate into next level hockey?
Well, I knew I wasn't good enough to play in the NHL, so I love the game so much, and it was always such a big part of my life that the logical step would be to give coaching a try. And I got into it, fell in love with it, and I mean, I'm almost 39 years old, and I'm lucky enough to say I've never gotten a paycheck outside of the game of hockey, and I never played in the NHL. So that's something I'm proud of.
Yeah, that's quite a little pat on the back, don't you think?
Big pat on the back, for sure. So, but something I'm really proud of, because I love the game so much and love helping players, and loved helping players when I coached, and the business that I'm in now. There's a big piece of I can get my coaching fix on plenty right now, just with helping mentor these kids through their hockey journey. So it's really gratifying and fun.
It's amazing to hear. It's amazing to hear. Brandon, you got another question for Tim here?
Yeah, so actually, you were talking about being a player and a coach for the collegiate level. What do you think about the NILs and just how it's all evolved from since you played to now?
Ooh, it's interesting times for sure. Hockey's an interesting sport, compared to college football, college basketball. It's not necessarily a revenue sport, and it's starting to happen in our game, where some of the quote unquote bigger schools are able to provide some things for the players. I like it because I think if the schools are making money off of the players, they deserve something out of it. But
Right.
I also don't know if I love all of it, because I think the rich are going to continue to get richer, and you're going to end up crushing the little guys that work so hard to build their programs too. So I guess I'm kind of 50-50 on it, but I think, especially in those big time sports like football and basketball, with the amount of money that they make, I think those guys deserve something out of it.
Right. So, I mean, how do we get hockey to get on that level? You know what I mean? Because these guys, they need the money too, right? They need the recognition.
Well, it costs a lot of money to run a hockey program. I mean, hockey sticks nowadays, you can't find one for under $300.
Jeez Louise.
And
no wonder why our brother stopped playing. He was like, I feel bad.
He was a goalie too.
Yeah.
Even worse. Yeah. You're a goalie, even worse. I think it's a growing game. It's the hard part with hockey is it's so expensive, and there's a lot of markets out there in different pockets of the country where it's really hard to get it going because it costs so much money to play.
Right.
And just to keep up with everybody else, you're spending more and more money. It's become a year-round sport. Every weekend in the summertime, people are going out to tournaments. It's really challenging, and I fear that the game pricing itself out a little bit of growing, but it's a great game, and hopefully that calms down a little bit and it can continue to grow.
Yeah, I definitely agree, and I feel like what you're doing with next level hockey, I mean, is you're gonna really help that cause as well. But speaking of, I mean, you kind of mentioned the Golden Knights. So they're now in possession of old Lord Stanley for the first time in the franchise's history after an incredible season. What made them so dominant? Now let's get into the hockey brain a little more of the analytical side. What made them so dominant in the Stanley Cup final to end the Cinderella run for the 8-seed Panthers? See, we're not a big hockey show, but we know our stuff a little bit, Tim, okay?
At least we try to. We try to keep up.
I can tell. You do. I can tell. The game, there's not a lot of fighting in the game anymore. And it's become much more skill, speed, making plays based. But every year, the team that wins the cup ends up being bigger, heavier. I think Vegas the average size on their decor was 6'2", 6'3". I don't know if they had a guy under 6 foot.
And that's off skates too, right? Because I mean, how much the measurables are a little taller on the ice too, right?
Yeah,
for sure. Add another 3 inches to that. So, but the competitiveness, I don't know if it's a sore subject to bring up on here, but
oh boy, here we go.
Jack Eichel was a totally different player in the playoffs this year than he was when he was in Buffalo. Played harder, was more competitive, and played heavier like the rest of their team did. So obviously their team bought into the Kool-Aid that the coach was serving them.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's, for me at least, it's not as sore of a subject because I was always a Jackie Aces fan, right? So when he kind of left, I'm like, the Sabres kind of stink. I might be jumping on the wagon, and now that they won the cup, I'll admit to it. I might be a fan.
We'll also remember
I
that was the year we got kicked out of the #1 spot for McDavid
Oh yeah,
when we got him.
maybe
So it could have been a whole different story.
maybe the ties could have shifted. We're speaking with Tim Madsen here. So helping the youth reach the next level is essentially a driving force for next level hockey in your line of work. Could you tell us a little more about that process and what you would recommend to the next generation listening right now?
Sure. It's I'm sure like any sport in that there's a lot of options out there, but if you're smart and thorough and not to be Mr. Cliche here, but if you understand that the game is a process and you got to take it 1 year at a time, the biggest challenge that we run into, and we got 7 other guys that work with Next Level Hockey as well. So we all have players that we work with, and the biggest challenge is everybody's worried about everybody else and trying to keep up with the Joneses. So it's like, well, why did he make that team? I'm better than him. Or why is he going to this showcase and not me? I should be going to that, instead of just worrying about yourself and your process to get to where you want to get to. And that's probably the biggest challenge we run into every single day. And the ones that are willing to be open-minded to listening and taking your advice are going to save a lot of money along the journey. We've saved families in 3 years. I opened this 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
We've saved families over $500,000 just on hockey decisions alone.
That's unbelievable.
Just something as simple as someone's begging you to go to this. Well, how about you go to this one? It's an hour from home. This one's a flight and a hotel, and you're going to get the same value. So go to this one instead. So you're giving them advice. You just saved the family $2,000
just from traveling home. Yeah.
Yep. So there's a lot of different like pieces at our company, a lot of different angles that we help families with, and the big one is the financial piece to try to save them money, because there's, just like anything, there's good events and there's propaganda out there in this game, and you got to be smart what you do, because if you make the wrong decision, you're just throwing your money in the dumpster.
Yeah, that's unbelievable. And then you kind of touched on like not even just helping the families financially, but what would you recommend to the next group of kids that want to get into hockey, and just from like a skill set, and even just like they see the pros on TV, they don't really fully understand how they got there. Essentially, they think it's just okay. They play hockey. This is what they were given to, and took advantage of the schools they went to and everything in the programs. What would you say to those kids that you kind of want to tell them, like, okay, there's more to it, like the hard work you got to put in yourself, and what is that pathway for them to becoming one of those pros that they see on TV?
Great question. I think you have to be obsessed, might not be the right word, but you have to love the game so much that you're willing to put in all that extra work to develop and continue to get better and better as your journey goes on. But at the same time, you also have to be a kid.
Right.
And you don't have to play 7 days a week, 12 months a year, go play football, go get in some trouble, go get dirty, go hang out with your buddies. It's okay to have a life away from the game. But when it's go time for the game, I just find that the kids that, again, I want to say the word obsessed, that they love it. They love the game so much. They're obsessed with it, and the training and watching NHL games on TV, learning, loving the game. I feel
like obsession is the right word. I didn't mean to cut you off there, but I do feel like they need that kind of driving force, not to even just be like a fan of it, but they want to find that obsession and, put that work in to get there.
Couldn't agree more. Like I wasn't talented enough to get to play college hockey just on the talent alone. I had to be obsessed, and I'll use that word for myself, obsessed with loving the game so much that I I outworked so many people, and that's how I earned my opportunity to play Division I hockey. And so that's always kind of been my attitude with it. And every kid's different. Some kids are naturally talented enough where they can do it anyways, but those are the one percenters.
Right, and I feel like kids some of them once they fail, I mean even adults too, they think it's the end of the world, but it depends what they do with that failure will determine their progress and their drive, so to speak. So they got to learn how to fail before they succeed. Most of them, essentially.
I love it. I've said the same thing, especially to parents. Like, I'll give you an example. A kid gets healthy scratched,
Mm-hmm.
and mom and dad call and they're freaking out. And I'm like, that's okay. I'm like, I kind of like that. Let's see how he comes back. Let's see if he pouts about it and it's going to affect him for 10 games negatively, or if he's going to man up, put the work boots on, and figure it out, because life isn't fair, just like this game. People don't like hearing that sometimes, but that's how my company operates. And we tell the truth and we tell them how we think it is and try to help mentor them that way.
Yeah, and that's essential too. Like you need that person, or that you need to be surrounded by those group of people that are going to tell you something that you don't want to hear, right? And I believe Moranto has a question too, real quick.
Hey, how you doing? So this is Rich. I know you can't see me, but I was involved coaching a lot of soccer, and that was the biggest problem that I ran into, was getting parents to understand, this is this Bob's decision or is this your decision? Like trying to get, sometimes the parents were more passionate than the kid, and the kid would understand why he wasn't the starting forward or the starting left back or whatever, but the mom and dad didn't. And I'm sure that's probably, and as you can probably advise, and I'm guessing in soccer locally, with all the travel and the Premier and all that stuff that we have now, just a lot of bad players out there, like in terms, not the players themselves, but the players that are running these organizations that it sounds like your company tries to help them navigate, the parents and the families and the kids navigate that. Is that a big part of what you guys have to kind of do?
It is. And it's a big part of it, actually. I think when people sign on with us, it's not really the intention, but as time goes on, you end up being a parent advisor just as much as a player advisor. And they love their kids so darn much and want the best for them. But it goes back to what you talked about earlier with letting them fail a little bit. That love sometimes overtakes that piece of it, and they have a really hard time. Not all of them, of course, but a lot of them have trouble understanding that that's actually going to make them better. And not just in hockey, but again, to be a cliche machine here, in life as well, because sports and life, you can give 1,000 examples where you run into adversity and you got to deal with it.
Yep. Yeah, you got to face it one-on-one for sure, and learn and grow from that. Yeah, that was a great topic, and you had some great answers for us there in terms of just like, because it's not even like you mentioned, it's just not even for hockey. That's like life in general, and they can incorporate that into other sports they're playing as well. But speaking of other sports, Tim, we appreciate your time here, obviously, in your busy schedule. We're mainly a football show, as we kind of spoke before we got on the air. So we can't let you get out of here without asking you who your favorite team is, and if you're into NFL football, if you have any cool or like funny NFL experiences you had, please feel share with us and our listeners.
I have one really good story. It's really, really good for me because of who won the game, but you guys will think it's a good story. So, being from Minnesota, I'm a diehard Vikings fan, and last winter,
Skull.
I'm not doing
Skull.
it. It hurts my soul. I can't do it.
So last winter, 2 of my uncles flew out for the Bills-Vikings game. And the main reason to fly out here, other than to see myself and my family, was to experience the Bills Mafia.
Oh yeah,
because everybody knows. Knows how passionate and awesome it is. And so they come out my one uncle wore one of those 1980 or 1990 starter jackets, Vikings logo. I thought he was going to get jumped. But the fans treated him awesome. We had a ton of fun. They got the tailgate experience. Then we get to the game, and I forget the exact way it went at the end, but I think Minnesota was winning off that crazy play with Jefferson. As soon as he scored, we left.
Thought it was
and
over.
There was 30 seconds left.
Thought it was over.
And then we hear the crowd. We try getting back in the building, and they tell us we can't get back in, so we had to watch the end up on the jumbotron from the building.
From outside. Yeah, that was like I was at that game as well. And that was one of the most insane games I've ever seen in person. Like Justin Jefferson, literally, it was like watching Madden in real life. He had the X Factor on. Whatever Kirk Cousins was throwing up to him, he was coming down with it. Sorry, brother Brennan. I mean, that was kind of
It was a great catch, though. Like you can't beat that.
It was. I mean, even he had a few of them. Not even just that one.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah,
The whole game.
It was unbelievable. And like I kind of spoke about this earlier, like where because I was at the game. I just mentioned there was a Vikings fan in our section, and there was like we were in like the asshole section, whatever. It must have just been for that game. They were like messing with them and everything, and he wasn't saying nothing. And so I'm sitting there low key. I'm like, man, I can feel momentum shift a little bit. This guy might turn out to be a little happy Vikings fan at the end of the day. So then shit hits the fan with Buffalo, and yeah, the rest was history. So, and then real quick too, you're a Vikings fan. News from last week: Kirk Cousins isn't re-signing his tender in Minnesota, so this is potentially his last year. What do you think is going to happen with the quarterback situation over there? Are we going to get a good season out of Kirk this year, or what's going on?
You know, everyone bags on Kirk in Minnesota quite a bit, and yeah, it's tough because statistically he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but he
is.
Never won.
He's not lying, Brennan. He's not lying.
He's never gotten it done at the end, so I guess I'm being one of those right now where I'm like, I don't know. That's a tough question. Nice to have a quarterback. You guys know that, so we'll see.
So I'm a Colts fan. Breaking news.
Oh,
to new listeners to the show, Tim. So we had a different quarterback for like the past 7 years.
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Yeah, so we're just getting our hopefully franchise guy now in Anthony Richardson. So hopefully we're gonna get the Josh Allen effect with this guy. But yeah, you're right. I mean, Kirk Cousins okay. We'll see if they can get him over hump this year. What's your thoughts on Dalvin Cook getting released though? That's been in the big news market the past couple weeks since there's nothing really else going on.
Honestly, I saw the headline or I saw it on Twitter or something, and I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning is. Do you guys know? I'm rattled by that.
So back in March there was trade rumors, and they kind of died down because they didn't get a deal done. I really don't know. It wasn't the money, right? Because he was getting a good paycheck there.
I think so. That's why I was so puzzled when I saw that, and I wondered if he said he wanted out, or I don't know. I know as much as you guys on that, but all I know is it bothered the living daylights out of me when I saw that, being a Vikes fan.
Yeah, I mean that's one of your best players too offensively. It could have been usage. I don't know, because I mean, whenever he did get the ball, he was more than likely to score, make a big play out of it. But we really thank you for your time here today, Tim. Shared a lot of hockey knowledge. This might be turning into a hockey show.
I'm over here biting my tongue because I think Buffalo's a hockey town. I grew up with Buffalo. I've been a big Sabres fan my whole life, even in the rough years. But I remember you talked about, the way the game has changed. And I remember the Sabres were so built for the future after the lockout. And then all of a sudden we got to the playoffs that year, and then it was old-time hockey again. We had built a team that was for the new NHL, and it just, and I still have that bitter taste in my mouth, obviously. But, I mean, I've been watching them the last few years, and, I got to a bunch of games last year, and I just can't wait I think, I can't wait to see if Buffalo really starts to realize what they've got in this team in Buffalo with the Sabres.
I want so bad for the Bills and the Sabres to be contenders at the exact same time.
City will burn.
To see the city rocking.
Tim, we can't have it. The city will burn down. You remember?
Too much good things going on.
You remember quarantine? It's going to be like that again, pal.
I believe it.
Yeah, I mean these guys don't probably remember the year the Sabres went to the finals and against Dallas and how behind this team was and then how terrible the offseason was. It was like we lost our two favorite children and they got adopted or something that summer. I mean, like there's a lot of people
players at the time
that never really kind of bounced. There's a lot of Buffalo fans that never bounced back from those off-season decisions and But it is exciting, and I like. How do you like the game now? Do you like the game more now as it's evolving, or what do you miss? Do you miss hockey of old, or do you think there's some mix in the middle?
I would probably lean more with the mix in the middle. I love seeing the skill and the speed, and I think we can get best of both worlds. Like when I answered the question about the Knights and Panthers, because as much as the game has changed that way, playoff time is still big boy hockey.
Yeah, that's for sure.
100%. This is the best time of year, in my opinion, to watch it. That's when I pretty much get tuned into it. Yeah, they're scrapping a little bit, a little towards the end. But can't thank you enough for your time here, Tim. Hopefully we could have you on again. We had a great conversation about hockey today. You're probably going to be our go-to hockey guy.
Anytime, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are great.
All right, really appreciate it again, and we'll find a way to send this out to you. I don't know how we got it here or got the addresses screwed up, but we'll get it to you. Don't worry about it, Tim.
Somehow, some way.
You know what?
Still cold.
This guy's a magician.
We'll send that back up to Nick.
All right. There we go.
Good idea. We're actually me and Maranta are going up there Thursday, so I might actually just bring it with us for the road trip.
Enjoy, boys.
All right.
Thank you.
Everybody, Tim Matson, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Tim.
Thank you. Have a great one.
You as well.
You too.
All right.
We're a hockey show now.
Tank Talk Hockey Show? I don't know. You tell me.
Tanks Pucks.
It's better than my soccer talk, that's for sure.
Yeah, that segment didn't last long.
What was it called again?
I forgot. I blocked it out.
We left it in the past.
It's a bad memory. It's like, you got to block it out like a concussion. You don't want to think about it anymore. No, that was good. Nice job with that. That was a good segment. Good guest. I liked it.
Very solid. I mean, everything he kind of broke down there with just like the traits and everything and the skills these kids they're trying to implement into them. It doesn't even got to be with hockey.
I hate to say it. I mean, like you talk to guys that are trying to play at a higher level.
You can flip the camera around so we can see you now.
You definitely need help nowadays. Like to try to do this like the old days and just hope that you're going to make it without really understanding like what's kind of expected of the players today. It's going to be tough. Like I am glad that there's groups out there that that are really looking out for these kids because there's just too many people that manipulate these guys.
Trying to make money off them and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, and just the way they manipulate players in general in travel programs that I've seen in soccer. I mean, that's the one I know. It's frustrating for me. Like there's a kid and he's like, these organizations run on the salaries that they can collect from these parents. And they're playing off these parents' emotions, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, your kid's he's on the team, but he's on Premier B. Mm-hmm. Well, what the heck's Premier B? Like he's either Premier or he's not. Like no, Premier B is the to threaten the kids that are on A to keep the kids on A in line. So when that kid in A wants to go play football, like he said, no, we want you to be hockey full time. And we talk about this with the combine players. How many sports do most of those guys in the combine play in high school, for example? Multiple.
Track, basketball, baseball.
I mean,
everything.
So to me,
everything.
and they're doing it because they want those, not the parents. These organizations are kind of messing with these families because this is how these guys make a living. And that's why I'm glad that there it is. It's not a commercial for next level hockey, but it's an important thing. Like that, there are organizations that are guiding these kids to make sure that they've got the right. That someone's telling them what they hate to hear because they don't want to hear it from their coaches. Because if I say to a player, "Oh, maybe you're like, no, that's it. I'm going to a different team next year."
You're bouncing around.
And I experienced that many times in my coaching career. So.
All right. Well. as I mentioned to start the show off, last week was the finals week.
We're going to have nothing to talk about now.
NBA and NHL. So that's the show, everybody. Thanks for coming.
All right, that's it.
I'm just joking.
End of season 2.
See you in August.
So let's do a little congratulations, shall we?
Yeah, go ahead.
To the Stanley Cup champions, Las Vegas Knights. If we could pull up the.
Stall.
No, the window.
He got lost in the pre-production.
To the window. To the wow.
Congratulations, Golden Knights. Fucking 9-3. Golly.
Yeah, they
tough
weren't
journey.
playing
You
around.
have to last those 6 years, to get to that championship.
Well, the owner said, hey, we're going to get it in 6 years.
Did he say 6 years?
He sure did.
He did.
Jerks.
Whoa!
It's I'm straight out. It's like I know Duke Clark on Trap Nerd Sports mentions sometimes it's like trouble with these Vegas teams, man, because the sports books out there know everything, and he called his shot for sure.
You could have made millions of dollars. So you know what? 6 years. Pay me. All right.
I hope Maranto's okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
I think he got to take a grumpy
Grumpy.
mid-show grumpy.
Grumpy Rich.
Oh, here he
Anyways,
We thought he had an upset stomach or
No,
something.
I want to put some air conditioning on for you
yeah.
guys. I
Oh,
don't want
yeah.
you
I'm
to
not gonna
pass
lie.
out. It was getting a little hot in here.
It's summertime.
I-
You know
I-
what I mean?
yeah, I got too much sun. I'm
Yeah,
about
look
to
at
pass out.
this. Oh, we don't got to wear these no more.
Yeah, right.
Oh, sorry.
I hear my voice enough every day. I don't got to keep hearing it.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah, look at it. Boom, son. You can't really see it on
Can't tell 'cause
camera,
the-
but golly.
Scoot up a little bit.
There you go.
You
Scoot up a
know,
little
it
bit
kind of.
to the
Tilt
yellow
your head
light.
down so we can, All right, feel the burn.
Yeah, yesterday, man, kind of beat me
Yeah.
up a little bit. Yeah, shout out Golden Knights and their dominant Stanley
Yeah,
Cup
good for
run.
them. And hopefully, I don't fault Eichel completely. I felt there's a lot of thing going on with that organization.
It was definitely a two-way road.
Listen, too.
He made some bad choices at the end, but I don't think the organization did him. I
They
think
didn't do
it was a
any
terrible experience for everybody.
Yes.
Nobody was perfect in this. I think they put too much on him way too early.
Yes. And
Shouldn't have been the captain after a year and a half. or
That's
12
my
seconds.
thing. It's like, yeah, how old was he? Like 19 or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You give him all this money, you give him the keys to the city. You could say the same thing with Josh Allen, but that's different.
It's a
little more
different
mature,
position.
It's a different sport, whatever.
Yes.
Different experience.
Yes.
But walk in his shoes for a minute. You get drafted to a small city that is mainly just loves their sports. That's how the city's driven, right? You give this
Yeah.
guy millions of dollars. How would you feel if you were 19 years old? That would get to your head a little bit, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
And it's not. And he's been. Been,
bars open till 4 a.m.
Yep.
Come on.
he's been propped up for a lot of years, and there was a lot of expectations on him to perform like way too quick. And then they put the pressure of that he had to carry this franchise on his back too,
Right.
which I don't think was fair to him. And then but also then he made some weird decision like making being way too commanding with the organization at times, and so and hopefully he's grown from it. He came back and made a couple stupid comments, but we as fans also were jerks when he came when he came
for
to
sure.
town.
Definitely were.
But ultimately, the funny thing about it is everybody who's supposed to be the better player than him.
He told me
McJesus out in Edmonton
What?
up there.
who's the champion.
Yeah, and who's got the
Not
championship?
Connor.
So for good for him, so that he got there before McJesus got
I
there.
stayed up the whole night to watch him hold that shit up.
Yeah,
I mean, I would say the team we had around him during that time, it had to be the organization because everyone
They're
left.
solid. I seen that on Twitter the other day.
And Evander Kane been in like
yep. Look
two
what
other
happened with Evander
teams.
Kane, and he left and went to St. Louis, and again we got
That
Tate
was Ryan
Thompson out of
O'Reilly.
it.
That was Ryan
Oh, Ryan
O'Reilly.
O'Reilly. But we got Tate Thompson out of
That's
it.
cousin.
So we I think the organization's learned. The ownership has learned. They've got better coaches. They got a much better GM now. It's a better organization. So they just gotta move on from the
And I
past.
feel like since it's the same owners with the Bills, they got the Bills doing okay. Now they got to shift their focus to hockey.
Maybe. Well, us here at Tank Talk, we're big hockey show, as we mentioned.
Huge.
We might be Golden Knights fans for the next week or so, but stay posted on that.
Whoa.
You got to jump on that bandwagon. I was
Stay-
always a Golden Knights fan. So.
No, I told him. I said straight up.
Yeah.
I'm hopping the wagon
In the wagon?
because this place stinks.
Whoa.
Wow.
Our
Just
second
like
guy
that?
out of town winning the championship, dude. What are we doing?
Probably more than that, honestly. All the role player guys. You wouldn't know.
Can we figure it out? But nonetheless, could be Golden Knights fans. We shall see. Stay posted on that within the next week or so. But let's stay in Buffalo though.
Yeah, let's
We need to have a State of the Union.
what?
State of the Bills.
Buffalo?
Let's have a State of the Buffalo Bills here.
Just a little intervention going.
No more Golden Knights.
Okay.
No more Golden Knights.
We're moving on. Staying in Buffalo.
Not so golden Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
So
So I think a day after our show last week, it was a mandatory mini camp. Stephon Diggs didn't show up. And Coach McDermott, this whole thing spiraled because of his comment.
wow, why would he say this?
I'm very concerned that he's not here right now.
I'm very concerned. Shut up.
That's,
Okay?
and then everyone was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Something's going on there.
Just say, you know what? Talk to him tomorrow.
Say-
That's it. Talk to him tomorrow.
Or just say what he said after this fucking news broke out. He was excused from practice.
Oh, that's it.
Everyone be like, okay, maybe he's hurt, whatever. Everyone will forgive and forget, whatever. But it turns out, because if we do a process of elimination, right? Why isn't Stephon Diggs at mandatory minicamp? Well, he got paid last year. That's not the reason.
Probably not.
Organization pretty solid. That can't be the reason.
No, probably not.
Seems like everything there is good. You know, all these players do these other interviews. Feels like everyone's all on the same page.
I would say at the end of last season he stormed out after that loss.
Do you think that had something to do with it?
They did get a new offensive coordinator.
Did that have something to do with it?
You mean play calling?
I'm pretty sure the wide receivers coach is out too.
Chad Hall, shout out. Great dancer.
Thinking something's going on. Something.
So there's a couple things that has been hitting the internet waves. Some
Well,
sources.
then it must be true.
Some sources say
What are your sources saying?
a couple of different scenarios that could happen, like you mentioned. Chad Hall not being with the team, he was pretty tight with Chad Hall. Not happy that he kind of essentially got the boot.
Also, being a star player on the offense, wouldn't you ask him? That might be your reason. Just wants to say.
Then Ken Dorsey, this is another scenario.
I am Ken.
He's basically only getting input of the offense from Josh Allen, which obviously that's cool.
This quarterback, okay.
Rightfully so. But they kind of kept Stephon out of the loop, and the offense was going to go towards a different direction, so to speak. Allegedly, this is not confirmed nor denied. So
Now, to try to make this one make sense even more, didn't Devontae Adams just make some comments about that with the Raiders? Like, Josh, what are you doing?
do you know who the fuck I am? I'm Devontae Adams. God damn it!
Let Jimmy pass it to me. Come on. Just let me go down the field. I'll catch it.
Something with that too, kind of going off, somewhat off track, but just like with the Raiders, we know Jimmy G ain't known for a deep ball or nothing.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were implementing that offense towards Jimmy's strengths. But if even Devontae Adams, fucking throw it up, Jimmy. I'll get it.
Exactly. He's one of those guys. He has a radius. He'll get it.
Diggs too, which is why it's like, why wouldn't you have a vital piece of your offense in that conversation?
Don't know.
top 5 in targets and something else too. Might have been yardage and catches, something like that. But the big stat there is top 5 in yardage, not yardage, top 5 in targets.
Was it yards per catch?
So does he want the ball more?
Yes. I think he wants it in crucial moments that they don't give it to him.
I definitely agree with that because we seen it ourselves at that Bengals game.
Yeah.
A lot of people forget he missed them like 5 times.
Yeah.
He was in the end zone.
Wide open.
What the fuck you doing, Josh? Get your head out of your ass and fucking that Britney situation. I'm open.
Oh.
That brings us to our next scenario.
Good transition right there.
Diggs was saying when he was yelling at him on the sideline, pretty much, get your head out of your ass, leave that shit for off the field. If the light is too fucking bright, don't show up.
This is work.
This is what we're here to do. This is what we get paid to do.
You're the main singer. We need you. Come on.
This shit happens to everybody.
Everybody.
Get over it. Let's go win a fucking Super Bowl.
Hey, man, Josh, grow up. That's what he said.
And allegedly, Josh was a little scary after that. And some people were saying he didn't really speak with them all offseason after that incident.
No way.
Allegedly.
Because no way they did that just for them to be buddy-buddy the first practice he's back.
And boom, it's all good.
It's all good, and nothing happened.
So my thing is, I watched a lot of that footage, and my question for you is like,
Which one?
let's just
Which
the
footage?
footage of the next day when he's at practice and they're
practice?
they're
Yeah,
skipping
yeah,
down,
yeah.
they're
Yeah.
doing the warm ups, they're skipping down the line together
Best
and all that
friends.
stuff, and they looked like everything was kind of worked out. Part of me really thinks that I think they worked it out. I think those guys worked it out. I think the meeting that they had on Monday was where it all fell apart. Right?
There he is.
Well, nobody wants to see my ugly face, but I mean,
Part of the
see
show.
we want to see
Part of
when
the
you
show.
talk.
Come on. It's like making eye
I'm wearing
contact.
my dark shirt today. I'm like Tom
He's-
Cruise today. I got my
He's like fucking Wizard of Oz. You see the head in there.
That's it. I mean, no, but seriously, don't you think like this seemed to be more like his frustrations with the coaches? Don't you think
Organization.
that they because Josh doesn't make the call. He can change things up, but like it seems like the plays, right? It seems to be like that was what the report that I read,
Yeah.
Boston Globe or whatever it was in, was that he doesn't like some of the stuff, and that was like what I think they got into a fight about on Monday.
One reason why I I do agree with you. I mean, great points, and there's evidence to back that up. Only reason why I think it was kind of personal between Diggs and Allen was when they had the media press conference after the practice when Josh was talking, and he kind of, as a quarterback and the leader of the team, kind of took the blame, saying that, okay, maybe during offseason I could have done a better job communicating this and that. So that made me think, okay, well, he's owning up to something. I don't know what it is. Something ain't right between them. I don't know. And then they had Von Miller go up there. This shit, he said it like 5 times. So this shit ain't as serious as y'all think. So like, okay, we got that in the back of our mind. So then that brings
Maybe
us.
Von took them both in the back room and took care of this.
Maybe he did. That's
Why
a
you
good
get.
chance.
That's why you bring a guy like Von Miller in. Like,
Yeah.
he's like, see this? I got one of these guys.
The vet.
Like,
Get it together.
let's
But
get
then-
it together, and then you can have one too.
Yeah, but then another reason why I think it could be personal between them two was that as soon as that video release of that press conference, Diggs, like a couple hours later on his Instagram story,
Oh,
do
yeah.
you have it pulled up or no?
Oh, yeah.
Pull it up. Let me go ahead and read it.
From Stefan Diggs' Instagram story.
This is beautiful.
That's like, wow. It's like a
I
bedtime
just be
story.
letting people cap. If them lies help you sleep better, tell them, big dog.
So that had me thinking, like, oh, I don't know. Could be something going on with them two, but now that everything is like kind of spilling out at the end, maybe they did have a conversation if there was something wrong. They got that figured out, but I do think it does have something to do with the coaching staff and the calls. Which leads us to our next conversation in this State of the Bills Union. Yesterday, Michael Lombardi on the Pat McAfee show dropped this little nugget of information referring back to Leslie Frazier. He says, Leslie just didn't step down on his own to take any personal time.
What?
This had something to do with Sean McDermott.
Yeah.
So let's go back in time a little bit to the 13 seconds with the Chiefs, the playoff
damn
game.
it.
Allegedly, we know how that game went.
Allegedly. I feel like I should say it too.
Yeah, allegedly.
We all got to say it just to get that emphasized,
People don't take us too seriously. This is all allegedly, okay?
We're just reporting what everyone else is saying. You know what I mean?
Listen, we're hearing in our lawyers,
Um,
and then we talk about it. That's it.
Sean McDermott went up to Leslie and like, yo, listen, pal. You done calling plays for today. I'm calling the defensive plays for the rest of this game. Get us to the Super Bowl.
Got shitted on.
Or no, it was a divisional, so it could take us to the AFC Championship game. So then we go to the Super Bowl. We know the result of that. Chiefs beat them. Coverage was ass.
Ass.
So you're saying that was still Frazier making those decisions, or did McDermott?
No,
step in?
McDermott
was
stepped up
McDermott.
and made the call.
McDermott said, okay,
On the
we
13
had
seconds.
enough of your calls today. I'm going to close this thing out.
As a head coach, he decided to take over. Okay. Andy Reid does that all the time.
Yeah,
okay.
let's change the coaching in the middle of the game. Like, we're not even in the middle of the game.
End of
like,
the game.
Like after a kickoff.
Yeah.
Seems
Yeah.
like a great idea.
And they're saying it started with that kickoff as well, because if you recall, they wanted – did they touch it better? No, the problem was people were saying they should have squibbed it to run the clock down,
I agree.
and they didn't do that.
I agree too. Like that, that was the first thing I said. Like,
Yeah.
I understand why they didn't, but with 13 seconds,
You can't risk that, bro.
you're going to get 4 seconds off. That's going to give them 2, maybe 3 plays to get into field goal range. Like, because right,
That's what happened.
Yeah.
and
I
so
don't
no,
know.
we're going to kick it down, and then they wasted no time, so they gave them extra time.
Right, exactly. But nonetheless, so that happened.
Prevent defense doesn't work.
So that happened. This season went how it went. Again, they were dealing with their injuries. Still had a solid defense. Injuries did kill them.
They
But
kill him. It always happens, though, to every team. So
again,
it's like,
in the Cincy playoff game, even a little bit in the Miami game, the play calling on defense was a little sketchy.
super sketchy.
Do you think Sean was in his ear? But then, anyways, that happened. Season's over with. McDermott approaches Leslie Frazier, allegedly, according to Michael Lombardi of the GM Shuffle podcast.
He said on his podcast.
He's got many sources.
Many sources.
He's still tied in. His sons are still coaching in the league. He's still consulting with all these other teams and everything. Still has friends in the business.
He's got
And let's keep in mind, he was the GM, and he had a different position in the front office with the New England Patriots, and they're known for sneaking around and getting some information.
No.
So I'm sure he's still out and about with all
Honest as the day is long.
this. So then, allegedly, he says that McDermott approached Leslie Frazier and was like, all right,
You need to spend some time with your family.
Oh.
basically, he was saying, okay, I want to call the defensive plays this year. I don't know what we're going to have you do, but this is our plan right now.
I don't know what we're gonna have you do. We're gonna pay you not to do anything.
Yeah, so it's like, so then Leslie wasn't too happy. He wasn't too thrilled with that.
He said, basically, I'm just going to go home. What's the difference?
There could have been a chance where this might have ruined his, because he was supposed to get head coaching interviews. He was lined up to have one with the Colts. It didn't happen.
Didn't happen.
All right, so I got to throw theory breaker into this.
Then before you get there, let me finish it off.
All
So
right.
then it gets announced Leslie Frazier is stepping down from the defensive coordinator position with the Buffalo Bills for personal reasons. And that was that. We haven't heard nothing else from it other than what Michael Lombardi said the other day. And then a week or two ago, I didn't find this out until today. Leslie Frazier was consulting the
Yep.
Giants defense
Yep.
at minicamp.
What?
Breaks over.
Go ahead and say what you had to say.
So my only question is then why didn't they just – because last year he was offered a coaching position, wasn't he? Wasn't he offered a head coaching position somewhere else?
I don't think he was. It might have been like one. Like I said, he was lined up to have an interview with the Colts
last summer. Before the last
not
season.
I
No,
don't
he
remember.
was
I
a
don't
guy
remember. I don't
that
remember.
was offered a coaching position too, and he chose to stay. So that's my only question. Like, why, if that was the case, if that's all true, let's assume everything you said about the Cincy game and all that shit's true.
Sure.
Then why didn't he say, I got to go. I'm going to take this position. Because he's getting in my, my way, so to speak.
I don't know, bro.
A lot of people are starting to feel like, McDermott's a great guy and blah, 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 but maybe he's not up to this. He's on the hot seat.
I hate to say it because I'm a fan of his. Kind of look like, I don't know. You kind of see a little.
Writing's on the wall.
Here, hold on.
This wall.
There's a big, get a marker and write on the wall.
McDermott, you're done. Okay, here we go.
Oh, sorry, I got to go to the wide shot.
Leslie, you fucking idiot. I'm calling the rest of this goddamn game. It's 13 seconds left. We're winning the fucking Super Bowl. We're going to Super Bowl. All right.
I don't want to do
All
that.
right,
I want to take a break.
All right, Travis just gained like 40 yards. I said, don't mean nothing.
You got to clap a little bit.
Hell yeah.
And then
Hell
say,
yeah, Travis.
and say, trust the process. Trust the process.
Yeah, Travis.
Fuck, you made the field goal.
Oh,
Yeah, because that's not a thing that happens in the NFL.
Fuck you, Leslie. Fuck you, Leslie. I'm calling the fucking plays this season. I don't know if that's definitely not how he sounds. But
I don't think he swears. Because he's a good Christian boy.
oh no, he swears.
No,
He swears for sure.
I don't believe that.
he swears, but it's just the tone he says it in. Oh, fuck, guys.
I forgot how we got there, but
Oh, fuck, guys. We lost. We'll get him next time, okay?
I think I do honestly feel, and again, I am a Bill supporter. Like I'm that's gonna way I'm
not
gonna
a
phrase
fan,
it.
you're
but
not
a
a fan?
supporter.
You're just a supporter.
I probably have said this before. Those mother effing people broke my heart multiple times, many times in the 90s. So they're like a girlfriend that cheats on you. Like, like you get to a point, listen, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. It'd be nice that all things work out for you, but I can't hang out with you anymore.
That's what I did with the Sabres.
Right? It was,
Once they exploded that last
Yeah.
roster, I was like, I can't do this rebuilding shit anymore.
I get it. I get that.
But yeah, I get it. It was the
But
Bills.
I think that
Sean McDermott. We're talking about Sean McDermott.
But if they blew it, Sean McDermott and the
trying
whole
to remember.
crew's out. That whole crew is out. They're
All
all
of
going to
them.
get fired. If they don't make it to the they got to at least make it to the AFC Championship. I think they have to make it to the Super Bowl. They don't have to win the
I was
Super
about
Bowl.
to say, it's Super Bowl.
But if they don't make it to the Super Bowl, I think they're done. I think they're all going to get fired.
I don't even think they have to win it.
They can get there and lose. That I think most people are like, well, at least we made it. But if they don't have a drastic improvement of how far they get, I think they're all fired.
I don't know.
Not the players. I think everybody doesn't blame the players. I think they're going to be like, this is structure of the way this team is coached.
But at
this
the
team's
same,
way too good.
But at the same time, if they do get rid of McDermott and Bean, there's
I'm
obviously
not even
going to.
sure it's Bean. I
was
think
about to
Bean
ask,
might stay. I think it's the coach.
They'd probably keep Bean.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, for example, like if that for some reason we've seen some crazier shit happen. Like if that does happen,
Clear house.
there's a chance because we're kind of starting to see it with the. I'm trying to think of a good example. I don't know, but new GM comes in, new coach. There's obviously going to be a new culture set. Some guys are probably going to buy out or they're going to want to buy in, but the GM and the coach don't see them as a fit in their culture, and they try to move on from them. We see it a lot with quarterbacks. I'm not saying obviously you got to keep Josh. There's no question.
Yeah.
But the team will look different.
Yeah. Probably it depends who the GM is though. If we keep Bean, get a new coach.
Well, it's
not
not even
much changes.
I mean, it's a point of conversation. It's a thought to have, but we're not even close to that happening. We're kind of like just spitballing,
theorizing, yeah.
But in terms of McDermott, I know we had Buffalo when Buffalo Dill was on. He was calling for his head every now and then. But I think that this is a crucial year for them. Last year went how it went. They had to deal with the most adversity that more than any other team had to face in probably history.
Yes, they do deserve some credit, whatever, some leeway on that. I don't disagree with that, and they've had the injuries, but sure. But
a guy died on the field. You know that shit don't happen.
And I think that but I think the organization's got to because that doesn't have. I mean, I can understand the emotional blah blah blah, and I don't even want to discount that. But I think that we're all getting to the point that now we're seeing these other distractions that we never had before, and I think that people want to see us. They want to see get past these distractions, and you should show up ready to do this. I don't follow tons of other teams, but I don't see a lot of crap going on in the Bengals dressing room, right? I don't hear too much about the Bengals or Philly or other teams that are supposedly just as big a contenders as we are.
Arizona.
What?
Arrow who? I never heard of them.
Just,
they got a team?
Just joking.
They got a team down there?
They're dealing with some shit.
Yeah, but they're also a terrible team. So.
Well, I'd also say there's only one real team. That's organization is really bad.
Who's that?
And they just got bought out. Not officially, still.
Oh, boy.
They still don't have a name.
Commanders.
Allegedly the Commanders.
Only front office that's actually not good. I take that back because there's
a lot of
probably
teams that
a
have
few.
some sketchy front
Yeah,
offices.
but that's the only one that's public.
Run down your list. Top 5 sketchiest front office.
All right, so we got that. You got
spitballing because we're in the dark days of the season.
You got
who? So let's start from 5.
Front offices.
Yeah, most sketchiest / worst.
I can tell you top 2.
Now tell me 5. Let's do
top 2.
All right, let's do 3. I'll cut down to 3.
All right, here we go.
Brother Bren's list.
The Houston Texans at 3. Cleveland Browns at 2. And obviously the Commanders at 1.
What's your reason in here? What's wrong with the other 2?
Well, the Browns. The Browns never had a franchise quarterback, and now they got one, but the bag with him, so.
Oh yeah.
A lot of baggage. And Texans, them as a division rival.
It still have something to do with that situation.
Again, yeah. No.
Hey, but shout out there. You either bring back J.J. Watt, put him in the Ring of Honor this season.
But hopefully the Texans turn around. I don't know if the Browns will.
I don't know. I just think I just don't know if that. He's gonna probably do fine this year, but that division is just so tough.
Yep.
I just don't. Who are they beating in that division? Are they better than the other teams in that division?
The Browns?
Yeah.
Listen,
at least the Ravens and the Bengals. No way.
We'll get into this more as we start breaking down the divisions.
The Steelers is still a better organization.
Oh, for sure.
Top organization.
They better coached. Even with they just know how to win games that they shouldn't win. They're not going to win big games, but I would be surprised if they.
They're always competitive. They're always competitive, no matter what.
In that division, they're hard in that division. That's
got heart.
That's playing your high school league.
Got heart.
Oh.
You got to play. You got to play your high school rivals hard. You know what I mean? You got to your whatever. You get fired up for those games.
Thanks so much.
You know what? Don't. You're done for today.
A long week. That sun really gets to me.
Yeah, you get to the sun. Hydrate, man. So.
I'm trying, brother.
But not those packets, apparently.
Yeah, so, a quick story. There's not really much. We still got a decent amount of stuff to talk about today, but shout out GNC. They always got some type of deal. Try to keep you healthy. So I got these, stopped in there the other day for something. but I always look at their deal table, whatever. It was buy one, get 2 free, anything off the table. I'm like, oh, that's a good deal. Normally they don't have nothing on that table, though. Every now and then they have some gems, but this time I thought they had some gems. So it's like this plant-based
What do you mean by that?
hydration package. Came in this cool packaging, like whatever. 15 little packets in each container. So if you do the math, it's like 45 of them hydration packets. So I got raspberry lemonade, 2 of those, and then one of them was like citrus blast. The first one I tried was citrus blast. It tasted good at first. I'm like, okay, this could be something. I might have got a good deal. Because normally, I asked the dude when I was buying them, I'm like, how much do these things normally run? Because they marked them down to like $13. He's like, it's like $27 a piece. I'm like, holy fuck, dude. This is a hell of a deal. I just got 3 of them for $13. Doesn't it? And you got to check the expiration date because there's a reason why they get put on there. Like on the deal table.
Yeah.
Good till August, end August. So I'm like, okay,
not
this
bad.
could be something. But yeah, the citrus blast tasted good at first, but then you get to the bottom of the cup. I just drank a whole cup of soap.
Oh.
That's what it tasted like.
That's where the blast comes from.
And I was like, okay, hydration and clear. Is it gonna clear my system? All right, that's for sure.
Well, it cleared it all right.
But then, I had the raspberry lemonade one today.
Okay.
Good as fuck.
Pretty good.
Tasted like a Gatorade. Yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe future sponsor. Hydrate the boy so when we got to keep fucking drinking these plant-based hydration
Yeah, we
packs.
can't do it no more.
Unless it's raspberry lemonade. That was pretty good, like I
It's
said.
a thirst quencher. These boys are here.
You're quenched fucking...
Quenching thirst.
Is your quench thirsted?
Yeah, that's what it says.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh.
Did it
I
actually?
think it
quench?
did.
Okay.
I think it did.
Shout out Gatorade for fucking quenching our thirst.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to football,
Football.
though. Speaking of quenching thirst, D-Hop is looking to do that.
Now, how?
With his bank account. He wants to get paid. As we mentioned last week, he was doing his team visits.
How is that going?
So he was scheduled in Nashville. We kind of talked about that, how that went. Who do you want to see in concert? Fucking
Was it Dirk Bentley?
Nah, I would have. Nah,
Well, you know Dirk Bentley.
I don't know him, but it wasn't him.
Was him?
I wasn't Dirk Bentless.
Was it a concert in New England? Is that what you're getting
Nah, Nashville.
No.
to? Nashville. Okay. I thought
Talking about
maybe-
his last trip.
Oh. I don't know.
Look, was it Luke Bryan?
Don't ask me. I don't remember.
Anyways,
There's a country concert.
it
All
looked
right.
like, looked like he had a good trip.
Yeah.
It's
it was-
Nashville.
But it wasn't good enough, I guess, because
you
he
can't
left.
have a good trip in Nashville.
he
Then
left-
you ain't trying.
He left without a deal.
Well,
And
that's because
he
of that organization. So.
he did the same thing in New England.
He left New England?
Left with no deal. But
No deal.
something could be on the table because Matthew Judon, he's been big on this recruiting process for D-Hop. He tweeted out after he left, GM of the year, exclamation point.
Who did this?
Matthew Judon, he's their linebacker.
He also can't say that
Okay,
because
that's
their
the-
coach.
Yeah, that's not even right. But
They posted a picture in the locker room and everything. And D-Hop
There you go.
he was wearing New England Patriots colors.
good for him. Enjoy fourth place.
Oh, shit.
They are not getting out of the basement in that division.
Oh!
It's going to be tough. D-Hop does help, though.
That helps.
Yeah, well-
Sure. That's it. That's not a good team.
Is D-Hop going to be a New England Patriot?
After
what it
all,
looks
after
like.
all this, I
I
hope
hope
that
not.
he is. I hope that he is. And I hope he's just I can't wait for that shot week 3 when he's just standing there. What did I do?
So when
I was in Arizona. I went literally on a diagonal across the United States from hot, beautiful weather to New England.
better facilities in New England.
Sure, okay.
A lot better.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Anywhere's
for
better
a
than
bunch
here.
of guys that don't play in the NFL anymore. That's why those facilities are there.
I got it.
What do you got?
You know how he was suspended for the steroids?
Yes.
It's the Patriots, dude. Talking about
Oh,
shady
yeah,
shit they
sure.
do.
Yeah. We'll take
He
him.
can get away with it.
Bring him in. You allegedly murdered someone in college? Don't worry about it. Come on in. We'll take
my
you.
God. Who the fuck are you talking about?
Gone
The guy-
forever.
You don't know who I'm talking about?
You know who we're talking about.
Nah, tell us.
Watch
Tell
some,
us,
watch
tell
some
us a little more.
documentaries about the New England Patriots.
No, tell us a little more. Who are you talking about?
Well, I don't want to. I think it was pretty much sure that
That's
he
why I
did
put
it.
the camera on you and
Yeah,
not him.
that's- yeah, like-
he said, I can't be seen saying this.
It was a good doc.
It was a very good doc. And everyone's like, oh, look at the geniuses of the New England Patriots. They brought that guy in. Yeah, because nobody else wanted that guy in their squad. Because
And
he
also to
allegedly
win-
murdered a
to
guy
win
in
some
college.
games. Yeah.
A couple. The craziest part is that he played with Tim Tebow. That's the craziest part.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
think
that's how
Tim
Tim
knew?
found Jesus so quickly. Man, I got to find some
You
Jesus.
think Tim knew?
I think a lot of people know.
I'm gonna go back and watch that shit.
Because apparently something happened
That's
with
a
the
hell of
Bouncy
a
Brothers,
documentary.
too, at
That's
a
a really
nightclub
good
down there.
documentary.
Say it again. What'd you say?
Apparently something happened with the Bouncy Brothers at a nightclub down there.
The one played for the Steelers. Who was the other one?
Dolphins.
Okay. What happened?
Oh, because they went to that college, too.
Florida.
Yeah. He was part of they were part of the team.
Now that we're on that, I think they're actually. I don't know what platform, but they're making a Florida Gators documentary about that team.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
That'll
Percy
be really
Harvin.
interesting. Even if you don't like sports, that'll be a hell of a documentary.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Anyways, D Hop might be a Patriot. Okay.
Enjoy the ride. Let's fly.
What?
I'm picking on the guy who, let's fly.
Let's ride.
And then he had a great, let's ride. Whatever. He had a great
Dude,
season.
what's your
Wow.
Whatever. Yeah.
Do you
You
not
know what I meant.
the disrespect? Have you not seen his fucking training videos this
Okay.
past week?
Fine, because he realized he was in pretty ass shape last year when he showed up. So
What-
he's like, I got to get back in shape.
He's training with that fucking football.
He still got
Good
Aaron
for
Rodgers
him.
on the mind.
Good for him.
Talking about Jets, fly, dude.
You're really looking
Come on.
You're really looking forward to this season as a New York
You know what?
New
As a
York
Jets
Jet, New
fan.
York Jet fan.
I'm
Low
a big,
key.
yeah, I'm a big New York Jets fan. Me and 5 other guys that are, like,
Wow.
how are you a Jets
What do
fan?
you think of
How are
fireman?
you a lifelong Jets fan? The people that suddenly are Jets fans, screw you.
They're saying the
I've
same,
always been a Jets fan. You have not been a Jets fan.
they're saying the
They
same thing
haven't
about
won-
you.
I'm not, yeah. But I don't, but you know what? Like, it's funny. Like, I won't go. Like, everybody's like, oh, you got to get back onto the Bills bandwagon. I'm like, I'm not going to be a hypocrite.
I'm not gonna do it.
I'm just not going to do it. I don't wish them ill will, but, like, I'm sitting there like, oh, they're going to fuck this up because I've seen this before.
Hey, what's your thoughts on Fireman Ed, real quick?
Who's Fireman Ed?
He's the #1 fan. He does the
He started the
Jets.
Jets.
I know.
Jets,
Oh, that
Jets,
guy.
Jets chant. Yeah.
Good for him. He's like that Joe Namath, man. He was great. That's what that guy's thinking. Remember in,
You gotta get
in
Fireman Ed on
1840
here.
when Rex Ryan got us to the playoffs? Woo!
They almost went all the way.
Damn near did.
What money? They did not almost win anything. It's like they're
Wow.
like the Maple Leafs in the playoffs. They finally got past the first round.
Hey, so word out of Jets camp. Everything is good. Everyone's glowing about Aaron Rodgers. Everything's going smoothly. Heads up.
Okay. I'm not saying he's going to be bad. The Jets aren't winning at all.
Well, speaking of a team who won it all, going back to the finals, final week, if we pull up their picture here, shout out to the Denver Nuggets, first time NBA Finals
Congratulations.
champions.
That's nice. Did you see the thing they said that they don't think there's going to any team that's going to repeat as a champion in the NBA for years to come? What do you think? Did you see that?
If we look at this guy here,
Yeah, that's a guy.
The little kid or the big guy?
No, that right him.
if there's someone to do it, it might be this guy here.
Okay. Not the little kid. Just making
Because
sure.
he just wants to go home.
That was
He
great.
literally
Wasn't that great?
he treats this as a job. You know what I mean?
And nobody
Yeah.
likes their job.
He's like, you going to the parade? Parade? I'm going home.
when's the parade? Ah,
He did that.
He did. It was great. I gotta like that.
I love
you know,
him.
He wants to
gotta,
go
like,
home and
yeah.
fucking ride
Ride
his
horses.
horse.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
Don't
said-
have horses
There's a
in,
little
in
buggy.
Denver anywhere. You can't ride a horse in here.
No,
Could ride a horse in Denver.
There's got to be at least 2 horses somewhere in Denver.
that's
right?
not his home.
They got the Broncos.
They got the Broncos. Like one of the teams is all about horses.
That's not his home.
Okay.
Yeah, Nikola Jokic was fucking awesome. So like I don't know if Maranta, you seen any of the post game
I did.
celebration or
I did.
anything?
Yeah.
Did you like watch his interview after the fact?
Remind me what I did, but I don't remember exactly.
So Lisa Salters, she interviewed him.
On the court is right after
You know
the
your
game.
typical.
oh no,
like,
I did not see.
Yeah,
this.
so it's your typical like, okay,
Yeah.
you're the NBA champion. How does it feel that all your dreams have come true today? Pretty good. We came in and we got the job done. Now it's time to go home.
It's good.
And that's it. That was it. You go back and watch the past.
I did see that. I did see that.
LeBron winning his first one.
Yeah.
You got
Well, I
Kevin
forgot what he
Garnett.
said, but he was all fucking. I seen the one with Kevin Garnett. Anything is possible.
That was that. Every time I see that, it's a feel good moment. Yeah, this guy. Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
Now we go home. Season over.
Job done.
Go home.
I go home.
See back. I'll be back in September or October or whatever training camp is.
Yeah.
October.
That's another thing too with the NBA. This season don't stop.
It doesn't.
NBA drafts this week.
Right.
They had the lottery, I think, right before the finals started.
Yeah.
Free agency is going on right now, which we could kind of dive into now.
Yeah, just dive into it.
And let's keep giving Denver Nuggets their flowers because they this is the problem. They weren't giving their flowers enough during the season. They never put them in prime time games, and the whole year they were this dominant.
Give the people what
Going
they
into
wanna
the
see.
season, going into the playoffs.
Good basketball.
And I think that's a problem for the NBA. Like they decide who they really like sometimes, and this is a better story, and they should have ran with it when they realized they had something here, right? They should flexed out some games. We should be able to see Denver more on.
Now
on
I
TV.
think we are for sure.
Yeah, but I think they're late. I think a lot. They could have done a lot
yeah.
better in their ratings if they would have realized, man, we got to get these guys a little bit more airtime because they're hard to find. You know, I don't even know if I've watched.
Well, it's not like it's like just the team overall. Yeah, this season they were just completely dominant. Whatever. I think 2 years ago too. They were
I
the
can
number
find
one seed.
Boston,
but
you know, I mean,
yeah,
like,
but they're Nikola Jokic is 2-time MVP back-to-back years. Probably should have been 3 this year.
and he's probably top 5 name recognition players in the league. Like, if you're not even following
Have to be.
basketball, he's a guy you know his name. Like, if you're
Well, you
just a
should
sports
now.
fan,
You
yeah, but
should.
before that, even before, everybody knows this guy's name. Like, oh, I've heard of that guy. He's that big dude
Oh, the
from
Joker?
He's the big guy from overseas. Like, you know,
Yeah.
he's a. You just can't help but know who he is. I mean, he's around, and they should be pushing guys like him as a star in this league.
And not even just him. Jamal Murray was a big reason why they won the finals too.
Yeah, he had a lot of good games
Uh,
during the whole playoffs.
And his story is kind of nuts too because obviously tore his ACL and everything. Was that was during the bubble, right?
Yeah.
So that happens. They said he would never go back to the old Jamal Murray. That's what they said. He would never go back to the old Jamal Murray from the bubble. What they call him, Bubble Jamal Murray, whatever. They gave him some fucking name. I don't know. They said he would never go back to his true form.
That's
Look
a
at him
tough
now.
injury.
It is.
That's a tough injury.
I mean, it shows now sports science, man. It's so advanced. Like those injuries back then, you would never play the game again.
But that's still probably the toughest injury to come back from, right?
Yeah. It's up
Yeah,
there.
for sure.
And the chances to repeat that injury is high.
Right.
Yeah.
So, fucking shout out Nuggets, man. They got an
Good for
electric organization.
Yeah.
Shout out Steve Kroenke. Won the NBA Finals with the Nuggets. Won the Stanley Cup Finals with the Avalanche last year. And then won the Super Bowl with the LA Rams. And then I want to say his lacrosse team won the championship too. All within the past like 2 or 3 years.
All right.
What a guy.
But the interesting thing about him, Allegedly, this is what people say. I'm just passing the word on. He gets kind of cheap.
Yeah, kind of cheap. You can tell with the Rams.
Well, that's the thing with him too. He'll spend the money to get the players in there, but won't want to pay them to keep this thing together.
Afterward, yeah.
But if you look at the Nuggets, I don't have the contracts in front of me, but from the last time I heard, Jokic just got a supermax.
Yeah.
He's in there for another 5 years, I believe. Jamal Murray, I think his contract standing is pretty good right now.
I think so.
Pretty much almost.
Decently.
Pretty much, I think Aaron Gordon as well. Kevin Porter Jr. I think his contract might be coming up soon, but nonetheless, this base of guys here on this Denver Nuggets team, they're going to be sticking here for a while. And then obviously, they play the team basketball sport. That's their style, so to speak. They play the team game. So essentially, if you just plug in guys similar to those other role players, they're going to be golden.
Yeah. There's a few players that didn't really play, like Jeff Green and DeAndre Jordan. Just mental vets.
Right, and even Mike Malone said in an interview, he was like, these guys were like the key guys to this team. Not even just for the minute, they barely got any minutes, but just their presence and being in these guys' ears to motivate them throughout the season and everything. So, Denver might be here to stay. What do you think? Is this the next dynasty we're dealing with, just like Golden State?
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Like, how do you fuck this up? No, you just keep everyone together. That's it. You see the interview is like, see this guy Bruce Brown?
He's fucking staying.
He ain't going nowhere. That was awesome. That whole parade too.
Yeah,
Such a good team.
Mike Malone had a couple moments.
Good team chemistry.
Jokic especially, he was up there. He goes, I know I said something about parade the other day, but I did not understand. This is awesome. Thank you guys. This is for you. And they had videos of him the past couple days at the club and shit.
Yeah, they've been partying it up.
But speaking of one dynasty arising, one other dynasty has to fall. And with that being said, we mentioned a couple weeks ago, Bob Myers stepped down from the Golden State Warriors. And now, as of either today or yesterday, Draymond Green declined his player option to re-sign with the Golden State Warriors. So this means he can either go into free agency or do a little sign and trade.
Ooh.
Both scenarios, though. Not going back to Golden State.
Where would... Because he'd probably want money, right?
I have no idea because I think the last word that I seen was that he was looking for like a significant amount from the Warriors.
So,
which is maybe why he punched Jordan Poole in the face last year after he got his contract.
Yeah, probably. He said, "You stupid motherfucker, that's my money."
Maybe.
I just I don't know where he'd go. I don't.
I know.
And that's the only team.
Not there. Apparently he's going somewhere else.
Who's his agent?
He's kind of rich.
What's the last name?
Last name might be Paul.
Who's Rich Paul?
He's an agent.
Who did he grow up with, play basketball with?
Probably that guy who's been the face of the league for like 20 years. Just probably. Am I right about that?
LeBron James. Where does LeBron James play?
I think he's in LA still, right? He didn't get traded yet to Dallas?
The Clippers, right? He's with the LA Clippers.
All right.
He's with Vegas, dude.
He will be. When they become a thing, he will
The Minnesota Lakers. He's with the Minnesota Lakers, isn't he?
Los Angeles Lakers, okay?
Oh, they were in Minnesota.
They were,
Right.
yeah. That's why
I forgot about
the
that.
lakes.
Because there's all those lakes in California that we talk about all the time.
All the time, actually.
And NBA Twitter's awesome, and every time the Warriors play the Lakers, what will they always say about Draymond and LeBron?
Oh, they're best friends. I don't know. You tell me.
They would always say Draymond was dick riding LeBron
Oh,
every time you seen him.
what?
And Draymond always gives his high praises to LeBron.
Is that his GOAT?
So you might as well book it right now. Draymond Green to the Lakers.
Okay. Bring him in.
Bring him in. If not the Lakers, though, I have no idea. I could see Memphis. Him going in there and squaring that shit up. Yeah. I think that could happen.
Smack John in the mouth.
Start slapping guys around.
Right in the mouth.
Ja, you want
Just like a line of guys sitting there, and he's just slapping every one of them one at a time, like, bam.
Except
and
Steve,
you got one coming.
Except
I
Steven
got a whole
Adams.
bag
Yeah, I
of
was about to
slaps
say.
right here, baby.
Except Steven Adams.
He might kill him.
Yeah, maybe
You
not.
say
Steven
you're
Adams.
good.
Just go pat on the cheek.
Big friendly giant,
It'll
but
work
he's a monster.
that's the role they wanted Dylan Brooks to play. Well, you actually got the real Draymond Green, so
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shit, I think that's it. That's the answer.
What's the line on Vegas for that? Can we bet that?
I could check later.
He's actually going to go to Washington.
That would be ass.
The Wizards.
Speaking of them, though, they were just in the news yesterday. Yeah. Bradley Beal has been acquired.
Yeah.
By the Phoenix Suns.
Yeah.
Let me pull it. Sorry, I didn't get to it.
Oh, see now
Nah, it
the
was on
shoe's
me.
on the other foot
Nah, it
this
was
time.
on me.
Oh,
I'm over here waiting to press a
Alright.
button, so
Sorry
I
about it.
pressed it.
Oh.
look at KD's long ass fingers. Jesus.
Wizards finalized
Can't
trade.
coach long fingers, man. You can't coach that.
You actually can't.
The Wizards.
Just got them or you don't.
Wizards finalized the trade to send Bradley Beal to the Suns, and that was per Wojbomb.
Well, that
There's
must
a-
be true then. Who's that? I never heard of that person.
There's a new big three in Phoenix, and you're
Look
looking
at
at
them. That's nice.
it. They sent Chris Paul out there. I forget the other assets. Essentially,
Bunch of draft picks.
Landry Shamet
Oh,
got shipped out to Washington as well. And then in return, they get Bradley Beal. So essentially, Chris Paul is already going to be out. Landry Shamet was going to already be out, and I think there was another player. So essentially, they just got Bradley Beal for 2 second-round picks.
they're still going to be ass. Oh,
They're
you didn't think I was going to say that.
their bench, man. They already lost depth getting Kevin Durant in there.
Because what I will say, didn't we just learn about team basketball? That's kind of the era we're in now. Can't win with these superstars. Can't. Well, you can.
And
Just not these super teams.
And I want to say there's a new collective bargaining rule going into this season where they're going to try to prevent like these big 3 super teams from happening.
And also what I will
Didn't
say.
work here, obviously, but
Also what I will say. I think we're going to need a few more teams in the league.
why you say that?
Expansion.
Because there's a few teams that have these types of superstars on them. There's a decent amount.
List them off.
Okay, you're going to test my knowledge here.
Remind us.
There's Boston. There's them. There's the Lakers have 2 generational talents, but obviously the Warriors, but they're kind of on the downfall.
Falling off. Huh?
The Pelicans.
My basketball knowledge is not up there.
That's
There's
really,
got to be a few.
that's really the first 4 you think of.
There's got to be a few more.
So there was already talks to them.
I hate these jerseys.
Sorry. You hate what?
I hate these jerseys.
It's very minimal, yes.
It's like when you go to, I don't know, I'm looking at that jersey and I don't mind the colors, but I hate like the airport abbreviation
T-shirts.
code. Like, you know, when you go in and you have to like put in the airport and it turns it into like, you know, like the 3 letters.
Yeah.
That's what
it.
that is. That's it. That's
it.
the airport code for Phoenix.
That's what they
I'm like,
that's
let's put that on the jersey. Let's put the abbreviation.
Come
Better
on,
than the
man.
Cardinals
Because it's
jersey.
such a long word.
It's clean.
I don't. Is it?
Oh,
I
it's
don't-
just
I don't like it.
Arizona teams' jerseys stink, okay?
Yeah.
These ones
bad.
are clean.
They're okay. I like the purple ones,
Y'all
but
just
that's it.
y'all just got bad taste.
Okay.
What do you know?
Yeah, what do you know?
Lakers fan?
Yeah.
We stay traditional.
Same jersey.
Super. They went back to it.
Same jersey since 1960.
They never changed.
I actually
They're
I
switching
respect
up a
that.
little bit.
I actually like the fact that they really haven't changed their stuff too much. I do actually respect that.
They have a little bit.
So
They make subtle changes. They don't make like major changes. Well, they rebrand the whole thing just to sell crap.
It's all for money, though.
Yeah.
You know?
But they don't
alternate
need
jerseys.
to because they're the friggin' Lakers. People want the traditional thing.
What were we talking about?
About
they're trying
flying.
to they're trying to stop these
Yeah, these super teams.
teams from forming,
listen, so you
which led us to the idea which you brought up,
just bring in a few teams.
expansion. So there
Just a
was
couple.
rumors, obviously. They want a team in Vegas.
Right, so that would be an odd number.
LeBron wants ownership in that, so that might not happen for a little bit. There was talk of potentially bringing back Seattle Supersonics.
Okay, here we go.
What's your pitch for the Buffalo Braves?
You see Buffalo, all their fans, right? Let's bring that to basketball. That's it.
I think we would be a successful basketball city.
I agree.
I think
we love basketball here.
I think basketball did very well. Back in the 70s, it didn't give enough time. I think it's our location is very good. I think we're close to Cleveland. You got a rivalry there. You got Toronto right there. So if we're in that same conference, I think it helps. I think it's creates some really cool rivalries.
Boom. That's the East and the West right there. Because there's 30 teams, right?
I want to say so, yeah.
And then you bring two in. Not just one, but two. Oh.
And especially with, I know.
It's
like,
a basketball
it's-
town too. Like
yeah.
basketball in Western New York is big.
But what I was gonna
College
say,
basketball is big.
Yeah.
I mean,
We have
what's
the
the
tournament
biggest?
at UB usually.
What really? You got the Bulls and for football, but outside of really that one thing, the next biggest college sport in our area is basketball. We get NCAA stuff all the time. We're lucky to get that. I think basketball would do well. It would take a long time. Unfortunately, I feel like we'd never really be a true competing franchise unless we got a really, really good owner that had some money. But I think I would love it. I'd probably go all the time.
I'm thinking
I
we'll
would get
take the team.
seasons. I would get seasons.
I
for
get
sure.
seasons for that.
We're going to own the team.
But what I'm saying is,
There you
like, what I was gonna say, Buffalo's trendy right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure.
Get it while it's hot.
I know it helps with the Bills being good and everything. Sabre, I don't know, but
the city itself has a really cool reputation in the country right now. It's a
Right.
cool place for young people. Really like it. I think you could attract a lot more young people if you said, "Hey, we got a basketball team." I mean, look, that's happened in Vegas to some extent too. Like people are moving to Vegas from other places because there are other quality of life things now besides casinos. For years, if you lived in Vegas, it was like we got the casinos and really, really hot weather.
Yeah.
But now it's like. Now there's other things to do. There's other quality of life if you're a sports fan. I mean, you've got, it definitely feels like
with the emergence of sports betting and everything too.
Yeah.
And it's like the first couple years you got to understand you're not, unless you get lucky like the Vegas Golden Knights, your team's not going to be that great to start off with. So you're going to make your money off of the Lakers coming into town.
Yeah.
Cavaliers coming into town. The Suns coming into town. That's where you're going to make the money. And that, I mean.
So picture a few years ago.
People love the vintage stuff.
Yeah.
Bring that shit back.
I would compare it to the hockey teams, as you said, Vegas. 6 years? They won one. Kraken, they're like, what,
They're playing
2
good
years?
now.
And they made the playoffs their second year?
I think if they market the team too well, I think the thing that the Bills have done very well is having Rochester so close too. So I think if you kind of Rochester's, not a long drive for people. If you're going to an arena, if you're going to the arena from Rochester, it's an hour and 10 minutes if you're coming from Greater Rochester. So I mean, I don't think that's not a tough drive to go see a basketball game on a Friday night, Saturday, Tuesday, even on a Tuesday.
Exactly. And if And if you're playing the team like the Lakers or like the Clippers,
Yeah.
you're going to come see the
picture of
superstars.
LeBron has been in Cleveland.
Man.
Like every one of those games sells out. I mean, that's you can see that with the Sabres now. When a big star comes to town, boom, those tickets you can't get a ticket to that game.
Well, it's just like you and Connor McDavid,
Yeah.
last season.
Yeah. I mean, we wanted to see arguably the greatest player in the league play. I mean, I think basketball is really. I think Buffalo's a basketball town. And I think really we like basketball. I think there's a ton of. I think if you asked, the average guy in Buffalo, okay, you like football. What's your next sport? What do you think they pick?
Basketball.
I think they pick basketball, right? I think Sabres are big, but I don't think the average Buffalo
People like
community person is a Sabres fan.
If you're not a hockey fan, which Tim is going to change for us, right?
Yep.
We're
Yes, he is.
starting to work on that.
We're back into it.
But what helps market hockey?
What else?
The jerseys and the
Oh.
merchandise,
Oh,
right?
sure, for sure.
It's the same thing with the NBA.
Yep.
Also,
Like I said, the vintage, it's coming back, and you're starting to see a lot more Buffalo Braves merchandise. Everywhere I go, I wear my T-shirt. It's nice shirt, man.
And it would be
It's
really
like
good
and it's
for
like the old
Buffalo.
guys. Oh shit, I remember
Yeah.
when they played and everything. When I go to I was in Philadelphia last year. I had my Braves shirt. I was getting compliments all over. Like
Being
they're
downtown
established.
Buffalo, because already there is a ton of great restaurants and places, the things to do in Buffalo right now. And the Sabres are there 40 nights, and the Bandits are there another 10, plus you got concerts, whatever it is.
Yeah.
So give me another 40 nights of people downtown Buffalo. Obviously, the Bisons are there, but they don't, they get 4 or
Not
5.
a big draw.
They get
it wouldn't
4 or
be
5.
a big draw like a
No,
professional
not
team.
not like a professional basketball
Yeah.
team. If they're pulling in 12, 13 a night in the beginning as it gets going, but I argue they would sell 16,000 seats right off the bat
What are you gonna
out
say?
of 18.
speaking of vintage, Rochester used to have a team,
The Kings.
the Kings. And you put another team from the G League in Rochester, and then the NBA team in Buffalo.
Yeah.
Boom.
Let's have a G League team in the Falls.
I've always said that if they built a small arena like a 5,000 seater in the Falls, I think you could get WNBA or a minor league
sure.
basketball team.
Just
and you-
something,
and
yeah.
I think it would go really well. Because again, a 5,000 seat arena for a minor league team or WNBA, like if we had a WNBA team, I'd get season tickets tomorrow.
That's what I'm saying.
I'd get my credit card out right now and got me. I'd go. I want to see sports.
And
And my hometown is 5 minutes from my house.
Right.
Yeah.
And then WNBA, they're starting to evolve some superstars too.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they're got their super teams, the Liberty and the Aces and everything.
And I just think they just need to keep growing their brand slowly and not trying to do it overnight. If they grow it slowly and they bring in the smart people, I think WNBA is going to be probably. I think that to me that has the most potential to be the biggest women's sport.
And we kind of touched on it earlier with like NBA Twitter and everything. It's one of the biggest like online communities out there.
Oh, sure.
And throwing Buffalo into that mix, we see fucking shit with Buffalo all the time.
Yeah, like
Oh,
if you
God.
could package it where like they put in like a women's team and a men's team around the same time, and you grew both those brands, even if one was in, because there's big talks of them building a 5,000 seat arena in the Falls anyway.
Breaking news.
No, well,
What?
they've been talking about it for a while because there's an owner, whatever the Canadian league is that's right across the border from minor league. He wants to move he doesn't like where he is his arena, so he's been talking for years about bringing a team into Niagara Falls. Like that guy's expressed interest before. So I mean, if you get an arena, I think that you've already suddenly got a ton of events in that arena from the day it opens. If you could get an NBA or even a minor league basketball team, I feel like you could do very well.
Near the Falls, too.
And that's
Casinos
gonna
across
sell
the
it, too.
street. You got
Yeah.
hotels. You've got
You got McAnelli's go in the
Yeah,
morning,
there you
know.
go.
Get your coffee, some
you know.
bagels, what?
Well, donuts.
I'd go.
I'm telling you, we got to get on this.
Let's go. Let's start the GoFundMe right now.
No, don't go fund me. Go fund the
You
city.
can fund me too if you want.
Well, we'd probably spend on something else, but,
I'd buy the team for real.
Boom. All right. We got
Let's go.
NBA team, G League team, and WNBA team. Here we go.
We got to start talking to some investors because there's some people I've talked with that like work in sports and everything. A few of them say they don't think it'll work. I'm like, how don't you think it'll work?
Because they want to go, well, we want Pittsburgh. We want, they're going to look at those other cities, the South or whatever. Like, okay, those
Gotta
teams
bring
aren't.
someone local.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, like,
That's the only problem.
you bring fucking the Lakers into town, it's gonna be flooded downtown.
Yeah.
Flooded.
Oh, for
Yeah.
sure.
And the branding's gonna have to be big too. If you got your merchandise has to be dope.
It has to be.
No one will even really care about the team. They would want a
Everybody,
they want a hoodie.
everybody
they want
be
a shirt.
wearing. Everybody be wearing something.
You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, every third high school kid's gonna have a hoodie on.
Like that classic
You know.
baby blue.
Yeah, what colors would you do? Would you go back to the black and orange or the baby blue and the orange?
I'd go with baby blue.
So can they get away with Braves? Are they gonna have a problem? Do they have to not use Braves?
I don't know because the Clippers, because obviously they were the Buffalo Braves.
Right. No, I mean it more because of the political correctness.
I don't know.
The name.
They
'Cause-
still have
the baseball
they still
team
have the baseball
still,
team.
yeah.
But I think they're kind of there where
I don't know, because the Cleveland Guardian team before them obviously changed their name.
right.
And what was their logo?
Well, Chief Wahoo was problematic at best.
And what was
Always has been.
It
what
was
the-
just
what
it was
what
just
the, what
it
the
was
football
just
teams?
the Bills logo was just the I mean the Braves logo was just the ball with the feather in it, right? Is that all it was?
With the B. And,
Oh,
yeah.
Because
So,
I would
mean,
say the Braves team
what was the Rochester
in
team
Atlanta,
called?
the Kings.
They're Sacramento.
Oh, you
Yeah,
can't.
they're in
oh,
Sacramento
the Kings
now. Yeah.
No.
But the Atlanta Braves is kind of the same thing with the Chiefs. It has the little spear on it as a logo.
I guess it depends. Just like
That's why it's like everyone's like,
depends on the symbolism and how you brand it.
You could also get away from just drop the S and just the Buffalo Brave. Like it could just be Brave.
Could work too.
Because then it's not about we're paying homage to
We're
the
just
history of the
brave
name,
people, yeah.
but we're not offending a people. We're going to drop the S because we're saying that you got to be brave in sports. Like it's about character. So you could probably get away, just drop the S. And then come up with a new color scheme because I don't think that old school. You could have a cool throwback looking jersey, gray, but I don't want that light blue.
Well, like what I was kind of touching on
the scarf behind you, dude. Come on.
Oh yeah, so
You love it.
You're sitting.
No, it's on the chair.
yeah, but yes. So
It would be those colors.
okay, then I'm in.
He said-
I retract everything I just said.
You get the navy in there with
But
the
if
light blue.
Yeah, so if you remember a couple years ago when the Clippers for their throwback uniform.
No,
they
that
did
was
the
a cool
Braves.
jersey. But I mean,
All
it
the-
works
all the-
for a throwback.
but
But
all
I don't
the-
know, like if the average kid walking around wants
All the
to wear
hoodies and
those
everything, they
colors.
sold out that night.
Oh, for
As
sure.
soon as they released it.
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
But I don't know if that's like the every night jersey. I think it's a cool throwback and you
there's
sell it
different
out.
ways you can do
Yeah.
about it. You know.
I think Buff State probably get mad if they go back to the brown and the orange, but the black and orange or whatever.
Yeah.
Because that was always the common, like even back in the day, that they had the similar color, and I think that's where the color scheme came from, actually.
Just don't do blue, red, and white.
Yeah.
Don't do
There's too many.
the black and red. Don't do the royal blue and the yellow.
Yeah, there's too
Make
many
it different.
colors that are
Make
the
it
same.
different.
Yeah, sure.
Make it stand out.
I'd be okay with the orange.
I think I am too. Kind of go back to the roots a little bit.
He doesn't like it. Miss out.
I like the blue.
Just give us a fucking team.
Give us a
I don't-
team.
I don't care
Give me
about
the team,
colors.
yeah.
I don't care about the colors.
As long as it's not
If I had to
green.
choose, yeah. But just give me a team. Let me
Another
enjoy some
another
basketball.
rumor rolling around. Dame Dollar might be getting traded to the Miami Heat.
They probably need him.
But Shams Charania says today he got word from Damian Lillard.
Oh, they're friends?
He wants to stay in Portland and build around them. How long are we going to keep doing this? They ain't building shit around you, Dame.
That's his career. That's it. Nothing's going to happen for him. That's his career.
So the reason why the Heat rumor started picking up was because he was asked before the finals,
What team would you like to play with?
yeah, and he did say the Heat if they didn't win the finals. That's why this thing is starting to heat up a little bit, no pun intended.
Wow. That was intended.
I swear it wasn't.
No, you did that on purpose.
But the Heat, they do need – I love Jimmy Butler, okay? I do. But as you've seen the series come down to the stretch,
He just needs help.
he's not a true one, man.
Oh.
When it comes
Not
to
a
those
true one.
when it comes to those big moments, he doesn't want to be the one to take the shot and to take over the game.
No, you're right.
I'm basing that off of the last 2 final series he's been in.
They just need a team around him. That's it.
Well, they have one. They need the number 1 dog in there. Dame Dollar could be that guy.
Well, because I know, like, the whole team was missing shots at one point.
Yeah, that didn't help.
You know what I mean? You just need consistency, at least, to help Jimmy out.
So we'll see with Dame Dollar. I don't know. I seen a tweet today. It was a meme. It said, Lord, why you keep giving me these hard battles? And then they had a shot of the Lord. He said, bruh, just leave.
Just break up with the team, man.
Bro,
Come
like,
on.
how many times are we gonna try doing this? Listen, I respect that he's trying to keep that like old school mentality. You gotta stay with one team. You gotta do it with the team that brought you here. Those days are gone, brother.
Long gone.
Those days are long gone. Give it up.
I mean,
Maybe he just wants to be down Miami for the music scene because they can work on us.
because what I would say
Oh, yeah, he raps. Right?
with Bradley Beal, he
well,
was there most of his career, and then he just got traded. So what? And he had a no trade clause.
Say that again. My bad. Who are we talking about?
Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal. Yeah.
He was with them his whole career, and now he just got traded. So what does that tell you?
And his trade rumors have been going on for like how many? Like 4 or 5
Years.
years now. Since John Wall fucking left.
Yeah. I was like, all right, let's explode it.
Yo,
No? Okay.
Dame, please, for the sake of the fans, us fans out here, for the sake of basketball,
For the fans that are fans of you,
for the sake
please.
for the sake of the game, please leave Portland.
We want to see you win.
We actually want to see you like on TV.
Yeah, that too. Please.
Like when you drop 50 points, yes, we
I
want
wanna
to
see
fucking
it.
see that. Go do that shit in Miami.
Go do it in Buffalo.
He's the fucking answer that we need in Buffalo.
He'd be awesome. In
So we'll
Buffalo.
call LeBron and see if he'll just put a team here. Forget Vegas. Screw them.
No, he'll make more money in
I
Vegas.
think he's
but,
pretty sold on Vegas, I'll be honest.
Does he need the money? Just talk about building communities, man. It's all
He
about
already
helping
did it.
people out.
He already did that.
I know. Well, but he could help another one.
He already did it. He's got to put my time in.
Dame Dollar, that would be just Dame. Please
Please.
get the fuck out of Portland. I don't even give a fuck where you go. Just get out of there, man. They ain't doing nothing for you. What are they gonna trade for fucking Chris Stapps, Porzingis? All due respect, hey, love Chris Stapps. Seeing him in person, he's a fucking Slim Reaper giant. Okay, he's not the answer for you, pal.
But he is, because that's probably who they're going to get.
Your best shot was with C.J. McCollum, and that did not work out.
They're going to get Julius Randle.
How about this?
Oh, I saw the light bulb.
Now that I brought up C.J. McCollum, those were his best days, right?
Yeah.
We've seen that Zion could be potentially traded by this Thursday. Send Zion to Portland where there's nothing to do. There's no, just, go mind your business. Don't fly no one out there. It's Portland. Just go hang out in the mountains.
Yeah?
Pelicans, go get Damian Lillard. Pair him back up with C.J. McCollum in New Orleans.
Holy shit.
You got C.J. McCollum, Damian Lillard, Brandon Ingram. Go get the fucking haul. Give up the haul. Go get Zion.
And you got Valanciunas.
I don't know who else is in Portland, but
I have no idea who's in Portland
but
besides him.
build around Zion. Zion will look clean in that Blazer uniform.
Actually, I think no. That's it.
Where are you gonna get to there?
I don't know. It just
All right.
all right. So Zion in Portland. Okay.
I
No
think
more baby mama drama.
that's
Okay.
that's what's gonna happen. And I know.
I can picture the new logos now. Just PDX. That's the airport code. They can put that right on the jersey. Too.
Well, they already.
Sorry, I had to bring that joke back from 5 minutes ago.
I hate to say it, but they already have that.
They got that on their freaking jerseys.
I know you looked it up, you bastard.
I
That's
did
why
look
you
it up.
brought-
I did. I was a cheater.
On
Cheaters
his
gotta
test.
cheat, man. Cheaters gotta cheat.
Don't
I'm
pull
doing
up-
research.
Don't pull up your burners.
Oh,
That's what you get.
You got him scared.
That's what you
Got
get.
scared about the
Karma.
burners.
He said, "Oh fuck,
Karma's a bitch.
oh, fuck, my hand's getting hot with the burner counts."
I got rid of the burner accounts. I did.
Hey, moving
I
on.
got bored.
We're getting better.
I got bored.
We're getting better.
Gotta be nicer to my fellow man.
Here we are.
Zion of Portland. Other NBA news: Ja Morant gets 25 games.
This breaks my
suspension.
heart.
You know
Can I
what?
tell you really quick why
Yeah,
it breaks
lead
my
the
heart?
segment. Go ahead.
So, like 6 months ago, I said, you know what? Everybody's always talking about these basketball players. I'm just going to start Googling basketball players and see, like, who I should know more about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I come across this guy, Jay Morant.
Ja.
Who's Jay Morant?
And it's, who's this guy? His name, it's kind of spelled.
It's Ja.
Ja Morant. I'm like,
Jeez.
it's kind of spelled like my name, right? It's got a rant in there. I'm like, I could maybe get, and then I read, oh, never mind. I was disappointed. I was like, oh, this could be my guy. His name's kind of like mine, and then no, he's a jerk.
So I'll give him the benefit of that one video. Like, I think it was the second video. He probably shouldn't have posted it, but
No.
in this one he didn't do. The gun he had was a lighter. He was lighting up candles.
But just don't buy a gun lighter.
Don't. Yeah.
Just get a Bic. Get a really nice one. Get a $500 lighter at the cigar store.
get a Zippo.
Get one. You got money. They'll come and put the stuff in it for you. Just don't buy that. You're right. It's just a
But-
bad idea.
All the other incidents, like I think you brought him up last week. David Stern would have fucking suspended him for
Yeah.
like 2 years.
Just, yeah. And
So,
I actually think they would have sat down with the student and said, "Listen, man, you could be
he
they-
did. Adam Silver did. And he,
I don't think Adam
Ja
Silver
lied
is,
to his
you
face.
He didn't do a good enough
Also,
job.
what I will say, if it was lighter, why not make that known? Be like, oh shit, my bad. Look at this. It's a lighter. That's it.
You want to fix his
But obviously, there was more that happened with him.
yes. A few more
oh,
things.
So he
Yeah.
beat up a
Couple of-
17-year-old kid
Yeah.
multiple occasions. Had the red dots pointed at the Pacers team on the bus. The situation
This
in
is your
Denver.
favorite basketball player.
It could have been. No, I'm still looking.
It's just it is disappointing because he was going to be the guy. He was going to be the face of American basketball. Him and Zion. I mean, we talked about it last week, but I don't think 25 was enough, man.
You done messed up.
But now let's see what he does, right? Kind of gets off the hook. Let's see what he does with this opportunity. If he fucks it up again, then I think Adam
No more.
Silver will lay a smackdown on him.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why we need Draymond Green to go in there and smack everybody in the mouth.
Maybe that should
Get
just
him
be his
right.
job. He just walks around smacking people in the league that need a good smack.
That's it. Just an advisor.
He's like a basketball player advisor.
All right, get in
You
the
can
office.
get in all the sports. There's a
Really?
lot of guys in a lot of leagues that deserve a slap in the face. What are you doing?
Well, normally this segment here, we like to give the good, fine people at home some money. So here I would normally say spread the bread, and this clip would play.
So should I play it?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Yeah, this clip.
There it goes.
That clip would play, but I know at the bottom of the screen it said something. I couldn't understand what it said. I don't think any of us here understood what it said
It's
either.
gone. I forgot
I
what it
can't
said.
read.
And the wall behind Brother Bren, the little blank.
Beautiful brick.
So unfortunately, we're in the dead time of the year. There's nothing to even gamble on. We have baseball, but like I said last week, I don't watch until July.
Yeah,
But-
it's a tough watch.
Back to the blank wall though. It's blank for now, but it ain't gonna be blank for long.
Oh yeah.
We got something up our sleeves here. And for those that listen in on Apple Pod and Spotify, Let's go to the YouTube and see what we're talking about. That's all I can say about that.
Oh, that's it? Just imagine, okay? That's it.
For the
I'm excited about the future.
future's bright.
No, you told me a little about what's coming. It's exciting. Good opportunity for everyone. Your
Future's
future's
bright,
so
brother.
bright, you got to wear shades.
That's right. We'll make that announcement within the week. It's time for us to start winning daily, boys. That's all I got to say about that. We're sick of the L's. It's time for us to win on a daily basis.
Eating dubs, as Jameis would say.
So yeah, we got that coming up. Next couple weeks, we're going to have to figure out what the fuck to talk about. Oh, I want to make this known right now for all of our listeners at home. July 3rd, that's a Monday.
Yes.
No show.
No show.
No show.
Gonna celebrate
America.
America. Also, I'll be out of town. That's another reason.
Oh, well.
Shout out America. We're gonna be off.
America!
But we'll be back here next week for sure. So stay tuned on our socials at @TankTalk_pod. We're gonna have some breaking news soon. In terms of how we're gonna win on a daily basis. What does that mean? Something new for Spread the Bread. Put 2 and 2 together, folks.
The bread will still get spread, but just in a different way.
Just not today. We ran out of the
There's,
loaf.
there's nothing to talk. There's nothing to spread.
Hey, not with butter,
we have the
but
bread,
not with jam.
but there's literally no spreads.
There's no jam.
There's no.
No, we're getting the jam.
Besides PGA and MLS,
No.
there's nothing to bet right now.
When's Messi playing? I'll bet on him.
I don't know. Actually, I haven't even paid attention to when he starts yet. I think it's a little bit.
We'll have to keep an eye on it.
It's already sold out.
Stay in tune with everything Tank Talk at TankTalk_pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and anywhere else you would like to follow us. We're on there probably.
Probably.
Maybe
BBC,
maybe a Discord soon.
BP.
BICP.
BICBP-radio.com.
See, I would love to plug it, right?
Yeah.
I've been wanting to since day one. I always screwed up.
ABCD.
Just tune into the network.
EFG.
The network.
Shout out Matt Johnson.
Yep.
Running this whole thing here.
Yeah, Matt does a great job for a lot of different people. Got a lot of us started on our journeys, and I just actually
sir.
talked to him today because I've got another podcast starting in the room next door. I started working on that.
Oh yeah, we're all busy.
We're all doing well, so everybody keep pushing away.
Hey, fellow Colts fan as well. We're going to the home
Yeah, that should be
opener.
exciting. I like that.
He broke some news with me this morning. We're gonna get a little field or stadium tour.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cool.
Okay.
I like stadium tours.
I'm about to reenact Andrew Luck's touchdown against the Chiefs in that wild card game. Dive in the end zone.
Don't break nothing though.
It'll be worth it.
Probably not.
So we'll have to wait and see once week 1 rolls around. Next week we'll be here, like I mentioned. Maybe some more Golden Knights and hockey talk, huh? Stay on the lookout for that. What am I talking about? You have to I can tune into the socials and hang around and see what the hell we're talking about. What we're up
Did
to.
you take a look at that roster?
What roster?
They have a solid roster.
Golden Knights.
Yeah.
That's a good roster.
Like
But they even
got
had a
few
roster. They
guys,
had a good
too.
roster the first year because of the way the hockey does that goofy draft. So they were able to
Yeah.
grab. They had like a really.
Well, that's gonna be the
interesting
Braves
team.
next.
Yeah, I mean,
I
that's,
can't wait for that.
Yeah.
I just want Steven Adams, okay? That's it.
We're still bringing in sponsors. Obviously, the wall's blank. The other wall's blank. We got these Cubbies here. Breaking news, too. We're up to something that emerged, too. We might be in a new space by football season.
Hopefully by late July we'll be down there ready to go.
Oh, that's
I
it,
got-
huh?
Down where?
Down in the
Bayou.
down south a little bit from the current location.
Mm-hmm.
I just got I need a couple
think I
checks
even-
to come in to buy a few more pieces of equipment for you boys.
I didn't even tell you yet.
No, I'm out the loop.
All right, we'll tell you when we get off here. A lot happening. And like I told Tim earlier, me and Maranto going out to see Nick again in Chicago this week.
Give him his beer back.
Yeah, give him the.
Have to bring a cooler.
Gotta bring this Bud Light to him.
They probably don't
Can't
sell that in
believe Tim
Chicago.
said, "Listen here, I'm gonna re-gift it right back to him."
That's right. Take this shit back.
Wow,
With all due respect.
re-gift is crazy.
Yeah, so we got a lot going on, and it's all good shit. It really is. Can't thank you all enough. It's all because of you fine folks listening at home, tuning in on a weekly basis. Exciting shit, man.
Let's
Exciting
go.
shit. Future is bright. So with that being said, follow us everywhere at Tank Talk _pod, and we shall see you next week.